And welcome back to Reactioncast. It's your host Jesus, aka Tyrant Dominus, here to give you another movie review. This time around, we're going to be talking about The Flash.
I spent a lifetime trying to right the wrongs of the past. As if fighting crime would bring my parents back. You actually did it.
I went back in time to save my parents. But instead, I completely broke the universe.
So, we're wondering how this film has been in kind of this weird hiatus space for a while due to multiple incidents and reasons and stuff like that. And this movie was supposed to come out way back. I believe it was supposed to come out in like 2020, but just a lot of things were happening, a lot of things with like certain cast members and things like that. And you know what, I'm not gonna really get into the nitty-gritty of any of that. I'm gonna be talking about the movie itself, because for the most part, when it comes to live action DC films for the DCEU, we've had sadly a mixed bag of films of where I've been hurt as far as these films, and I hate comparing them, but sometimes it's like narratively they haven't been the best films out there. And I was having this discussion with a few people the other day, just kind of like talking about what in recent times, what were some of the better films in the DC's atmosphere outside of animated films. So what do we get for the Flash film? This is where, because what I'm going to be talking a little bit as far as like the plot and stuff is just kind of what the trailer showcased, and what we're getting is a adaptation of Flashpoint. And I was wondering, why are they using this storyline? Basically, there is a wonderful already animated film called Flashpoint that is one of my top 5 animated DC films of all time. Definite watch. So they're using like elements of that with this film, so you kind of have a little bit of a peek of what's going to happen, with some already surprises of Batman and Supergirl showing up. So I'm like, okay, so what is happening? What is Barry Allen gonna do, and how are they gonna come out of this at the end, and how does the story flow, and how does it shape the overall film? So I'm going to start by saying overall the performances were really, really good. Comedy was actually pretty good and really well. It wasn't forced or anything. I was actually laughing. We didn't have a big crowd where we were watching it, but we were getting some chuckles here and there, and nothing felt forced. I actually enjoyed this comedic back and forth between the two Barrys and the like, and like, okay, and the action sequences they portrayed in this with kind of the alternate timeline stuff, I'm like, okay, the way the plot works this time for this film, using kind of the scope of the Flashpoint storyline, is like, okay, I'm following. It's interesting. I kind of figured, like I said, if you've seen the Flashpoint, you kind of have an idea, but the way it's structured here and the way they're trying to handle kind of this Barry's kind of trauma and dealing with trying to get back his mother, I'm like, it's very interesting, and I really enjoy how they're doing it with the back and forth with the two Barrys and how that's handled. And I'm like, oh, I'm following. The pacing of the film's reasonably good. I never felt that it was like ever slowed down too much, where I was like, why are we in this scene, or it's like, or ever felt like the scenes were moving too fast. It was going too fast for a Flash movie. It felt good. I never was lost. There was no at no point did I feel like any narrative note was like lost, like, oh, why are we talking about this, or like, why are we doing this, and like, or like, how did this happen? It flowed reasonably well, the plot that was given to us, and the finale itself was one of the most surprising finales, like filled with like, wow. And I haven't smiled in a DC film in a long time since this. I was like, whoa, amazing, great. The soundtrack might be a little bit but I was fine with it because the score overall is good. The soundtrack is like, it's hit or miss depending on it. I was like, I was there because towards the end, it's a 2.5 hour movie and you're kind of already at the finale and like, you know what, I'm here, let's go. And boy, man, this finale was way crazier than I thought. No spoilers, but it's bonkers, and I really liked it. I like that they brought back Michael Keaton as the Batman to kind of like play homage a little bit and kind of deliver some lines and stuff like that. I really like this, and it was wonderful to see him reprise his role, even though a lot of the talking about CGI and stuff like that, because he's an older actor, so he's not going to be in some of these action sequences, but for sure, as far as like the CGI and stuff like that, the first few minutes of the film with CGI, with like Flash moving so quick, right, it boggled me a little bit. It took a little bit of getting used to the CGI. It wasn't bad, but it was like awkward. But as the film progressed, you could see the polish as far as the CGI. I'm like, okay, there we go. It's smooth. Everything to do with the Speed Force animation and stuff like that. It's like, okay, it worked out at the end. Like, yeah, it got cleaned up. It was nice at the end. I never felt like it was like just the CGI was like, yeah, that's some bad CGI. But yeah, it was good. Like, I genuinely enjoyed this film. The surprises were crazy. I'm surprised. I'm not gonna lie. I am surprised for this movie because, like I said, the films have not been that great as far as DC films in recent times, and I was like, I was just hoping to just be entertained for this one. That's all I was hoping, and I got more than that, and I'm happy about that. And I'm looking forward to seeing what James Gunn is going to do with the franchise and see how they're going to be moving forward with these films and the like, because I like I'll be honest, when the film was originally going to come out, there's, like I said, it's been in production hell for a long time, and it just, I just kind of wanted to just watch the film already. And at some points I completely forgot the film was even going to come out at all. And when James Gunn posted that this is one of the more interesting films, it's a good film, I'm like, I got my hopes up, but I kind of levied it a little bit after a little bit, because I just like, I didn't want to get my hopes that high anymore. And I'm glad I levied them, because I was blown away what this movie turned out. Outside of everything else with the fiasco, with other things outside the film, I genuinely did enjoy the movie. It was entertaining. It was fun. It was, it had emotion, and definitely, if you're still hanging in there for DC movies, this is a must watch. Like, if outside of all the stuff of what's happening with one or two of the cast members, like, just the movie's good, and the other people work on the movies, so it's just like, yeah, it was well worth it. I am looking forward to seeing what other productions the DC Warner Brothers and DC Studios are going to be working on moving forward. Because if this is kind of the turning point of where we're heading into, it's a definite, like, I'm back in the seat with DC movies. Yeah, boy, man, because that finale was wild, and yeah, it's hard not to speak without spoiling stuff, and for a long time, DC people, you guys are gonna enjoy this film. But yeah, so I'm gonna give this film a solid 8 out of. No, actually, you know what? I'm gonna bump it up to a 9. It's getting a 9 out of 10. This is getting a 9 out of 10. There's a few, like I said, there's a few little hiccups. I'm bumping this up to a 9 just because I genuinely did enjoy this movie. I would rewatch this movie again. That's how fun and great this movie was. I'm gonna give it a 9. I'm hoping this doesn't bite me back in the butt later, but it's a 9 out of 10 for me. I genuinely did enjoy this movie. Yeah, 9 out of 10. So yeah, let me know what you guys thought. Are you guys gonna watch this movie? Are you guys done with DC movies? Like, let me know down in the comment below. If you're watching this on YouTube, if you're listening to this on Spotify or any podcast platform, let me know. So yeah, so everyone, thanks again for listening or watching. Until next time, see ya.